Hey people, so today's a big day that I finally get to working on this truck, so I guess I better get started.
3 days later.
Yeah, that doesn't look sketchy at all. No, not at all. Not at all. It should be alright. I only have one good jack stand. Oh, by the way, this side is almost finished. So you might be asking yourself, why didn't I finish it and do this, a little bit less sketchy? Well, you see, there is, if I can get on camera here, there is one nut that's missing because I stripped it out. Yeah, because I started putting it in the wrong place. So, when you take shit apart and put it back together, make sure you got all your nuts in order. Otherwise, you run into problems like this, and oh, by the way, it's taken me a couple of days to get that nut. Yeah, not good times. This side isn't even started, so we're going to work on it. Let's get that wheel off. So the next step is actually to undo this here tie rod end, and that's so I can move this back and forth. Makes it easier to get the brakes off. Alright, so if I just give this a little bunk with the hammer, it ought to come right off. Okay, maybe a bigger bunk. There it goes. Only took 3 bunks. Alright, got the brake caliper out, and it's hanging up there as it should be. You never want to let those dangle by the hose. Now, why Dodge ran that hose through the suspension is beyond me. I don't know. Doesn't make much sense to me, but whatever. I guess with considering where things are, I guess it works. Next step is to get that rotor off. I am actually replacing that rotor. The one on the other side was a little rough. This one isn't too bad, but I got 2 of them. I might as well replace both of them. So, yeah. Alright. This here caliper bracket, that gets unbolted from here and gets transferred to the new spindle. So does this dog dish looking thing here. So that's going to be the next step, is unbolting those, and then we're gonna put those on the new spindle. Alright, so I'm thinking the next thing I'm going to take off here is going to be this here stabilizer link. That I think is going to be the next thing. Then I'll probably unbolt this. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show you. I'll put a jack underneath here, then I'll unbolt that. So, yeah, stabilizer link's coming out first. Okay, I've got the jack underneath the lower A-frame, giving it a little support and also compressing the spring a little bit so it stays in place. I've got that ready to come out. Those 2 nuts there. One's already got the socket on it because I was making sure I had the right socket. But the 2 nuts that hold this upper A-frame on, those are going to come out. Then this whole A-frame is going to be free. And then I'm going to unbolt the lower A-frame. Now, the reason I'm doing it that way, one, that gives me a heck of a lot easier access to the shock. Also, doesn't have to come out to get the shock out, but it makes it a lot easier. Also, this A-frame, this spindle, and that lower A-frame is all getting replaced. So I can take this whole thing here, I can take that out as one big unit, and then just replace the parts, because I'm not reusing any of this. I've got all new. Alright, so it's unbolted and hanging off sideways because, well, I just needed it out of the way like that. But, as you can see, full unfettered access to the shock bolt. Like I said, you don't need to remove the upper A-frame to get the shock bolt. It's just easier that way. Now, I already undid the lower shock bolts, so I should just be able to let this jack out. I'm going to need 2 hands to do that. Yeah, I'm going to need 2 hands to do that, so I'll do that off camera because it's just me. I don't have Kathy out here helping me because she likes to sleep during the daytime. But there is something else I want to show you. So I just noticed today I learned, my engine is offset to one side. See, it's kind of a tight spot to get at those nuts and bolts for the upper A-frame and for the shock. Yet on this side, on the driver's side, I got all kinds of room over there. And I never noticed that my engine is a little off-center. I never noticed that. Okay, so that shock actually has to come out of there before I can drop the jack, because it's holding that spring in place, which is fine. That's fine. It's unbolted at the bottom. I got it unbolted up here at the top. I've got my special tool on there for that. Weird thing about that special tool, I actually have to use my left-handed metric nut pucker on it in order to get that off. I don't have like a any wrench that fits that. I've tried. Like, everything I've got just doesn't fit. It's this weird, odd, in-between size. I'm sure somebody in the comment section is going to be like, oh no, it takes this wrench. I can't believe you don't have one. Yeah, whatever, dude. Alright, so I got the shock out. It's over there. And I let the jack out. It's over here. And that spring, when I was letting it down, just kind of yeeted out of there. So, if you're doing this at home, if you're following along at home and you're thinking, hey, maybe I could do this, keep a couple things in mind. One, I am not a professional. Not even close. Not even close. Yeah, you might want to stand clear when you let the jack out and let that spring do whatever it's going to do, because that didn't fly very far, but it could have, and it could hurt somebody. And, well, that's why I'm out here by myself.
Thousands of tears later.
Alright, the old A-frame is off. The old lower A-frame, I should say. And that was a lot of work. That was a lot of screaming, cursing. I think the neighbors' kids might have had their vocabulary expanded today, but yeah. But now comes the point where I get to put all the new parts on, starting with this lower A-frame down here. Last time you saw that one, it was all rusty and crusty. Now it's all pretty. But I also got to remember to move that steering rod off the stabilizer bar. By the way, if you do this job on this particular truck yourself, you're going to have to move the boots on the power steering rack. They get a little bit in the way taking off one of the A-frame bolts. So just be prepared for that. You might have to take off or just move one of the or both of the boots that are on the power steering rack. Alright, lower control arms in place, upper control arms in place. Next, I think, is going to be the spring, and I don't have a spring compressor, so that's going to be fun. But I did on the other side with that one. I can do it on this one. I'd show you how, but my girlfriend's not awake, and I don't want to wake her up, and I don't have enough hands. So, just... it's probably best that you don't know, because you probably should be using a spring compressor on this. The way I do it is a little dangerous. Also, that used to be all up in there, so if anyone knows where I can get a new one of whatever that used to be called, that piece that goes in between the inner fender panel and the frame, I need another one. Okay, everyone, so right now I've got the spindle in. Got the spindle in place. I transferred over the two pieces I needed, the caliper bracket and this little dog dishy thing here. I got that. I didn't put the shock in there yet, if you notice, and that's because I'm actually going to need a little bit of help doing that, I think. I'm going to wait till my girlfriend wakes up and have her come out here and give me a hand with that. What I'm thinking here is, you know, I put it up through the bottom, and she could put the nut on top of it. She's pretty good with handling nuts. Anyways, so the next steps here are I'm just going to put in that stabilizer link and bolt up the tie rod in. Tie rod in is probably going to be one of the last things I do, just so I can still be able to move the spindle around however I need it. And I'll be putting the brakes in place too. So, yeah, just basically putting it back together the way it came apart. Simple stuff. I'll show you when it's all done.
One pair of pants later.
Alright, well, after having Kathy help me out, it's all put together. Everything's there. All bolted in. Looking pretty nice. Can't wait to get the wheel back on here and get down off the jack and see how it looks. It's awesome. Alright, we're done. Well, the front's done. And I don't know. For right now, I could be quite comfortable with leaving the back up at stock height and just keep having the front lowered. I'm thinking it looks good. I'm thinking, you know, it's head down, ass up. You know, sitting all doggy style. I'm thinking it looks good. Or at least it looks good enough for now. I definitely got to do something about those wheels. If anybody's got any recommendations for rims, go ahead and tell me what you like. Maybe I'll go with it. Maybe I won't. But yeah, I'm thinking it looks good. I'm thinking it looks real good. We're much closer to that mini truck I always wanted when I was a teenager. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. Love you very much. I need to clean that engine. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.